Hey everyone, I am Sarah Evangeline. I am so excited to be here with you. I talk all about inner child work, soul awakening, and today's topic relates to when you stand up for yourself, why does it feel like it's costing you? Does anyone resonate with that? When you're walking through the hard part of having to stand up for yourself, going against the grain, setting those boundaries, protecting your energy, whatever it is, it can be a variety of different situations. It can come to a point where you're just asking yourself, like, why am I doing this? It was easier to stay quiet. Now I've ruptured something. Now everything's exploding. Now I'm losing friends. Now I have to walk away from my job. Now I have to take space from my family. I have had to do this numerous times since I've done the inner work. And some people don't tell you that when you're doing the inner work, that it's not going to be all rainbows and sunshine and lullabies. There's some hard work to do, but you're here and you've decided to do the inner work. And so I hope that today's video can really help you if you're feeling like, well, it's costing me so much to stand up for myself. It's costing me so much to speak my truth and use my inner voice. And honestly, it can feel like a lot, especially if you're just starting to step out and to speak up more. If you're just starting to really be honest and vulnerable, not everyone likes that. Um, and so it can feel like it's costing you something, but I'm here to tell you it's not. I want you to focus more on the opportunity it's going to give you rather than what you're losing. Now, also, side note, when you're really clear on your values, when you're stepping out in your inner voice, you are going to lose things that are not aligned with your soul. And it can feel like you're grieving. It can feel like you're losing. But what is opening for you is so much more than what you were settling for, what you were allowing in your life that was not healthy, that was causing you stress, right? I want you guys just to sit back for a minute and go, how's my stress level? Right? And I want to share with you that there's usually in these situations, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. There's a new beginning on the horizon for you. And maybe right now it feels like you're in that middle and there's chaos and there's friction and it's like, oh, I should have just gone back in my shell and just stayed quiet. No, 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 no. Keep going. The only way out is through. So if you're in that middle part where you're full of friction, full of chaos, you're questioning yourself, I'm here to remind you that you are right on time. You are divinely protected. Everything you need is already on the way. Everything you need to get through this is inside you. The universe is inside you. God is within you, as well as remember who you are. This whole journey is about remembering who you are. And it's really, really important that you remember that you are the daughter or son of light and you can walk through this. Maybe you're embracing part of your darkness right now. It's really, really scary. I know it. This is part of what I teach inside the Soul Talk method. It's my signature program where I give people the blueprint to heal their inner child, awaken their soul, feel safe within themselves again. If any of that resonates or you just want to learn more, the link is below. You can email me, we can get on a call. So what I want to say to you is this. There is a cost to standing up for yourself, but the cost of staying small is greater. So it can feel like when you're in that chaos, when you're in that friction, oh, I should have just stayed small and stayed where it was comfortable so that I don't have to go through this. But it costs you something. That costs you something. It can cost you stress, staying in your limiting beliefs, and so much more fear. Maybe you're feeling like you're paralyzed by fear. Maybe that's still somewhat there. It's okay. You're unlearning and relearning. And I'm going to remind you guys that you'll hear me say these things over and over again in my videos, but it's because some of us are unlearning trauma from our childhood and things, limiting beliefs that we have been embodying for generations. So it's not just like one video and you're done, or one positive affirmation and you're done. Remember to be incredibly patient and compassionate with yourself as you're unlearning. And the relearning, that's part of the possibility. That's part of the new beginning that's coming in for you. What are you learning through this? And I wanted to share a personal story with you because I think when we share our personal stories, really resonates. So if you have a personal story, if you want to share what you're going through, or if you walked through this already, share your story below, comment below. I would love to know what's going on in your life. So I was working in the corporate life. It was extremely stressful. I was working for a supervisor where it didn't matter how good of a job I did, something was always wrong. And she loved to call me out and tell me I was wrong. And she would sometimes throw things down on my desk that I had completed, just saying, it's wrong, do it again. And it put my nervous system in trauma response, right? Like I could feel my childhood wounds coming back up again. And I'm like, my goodness, I've done so much work on myself. I do not want to go through this again. And I made a promise to myself. And that's what I want you guys to do is, what promise do you want to keep to yourself? Why are you standing up for yourself right now? What are you wanting to accomplish for yourself? What boundary are you setting for yourself? Right? Focus on that. Don't focus on what anyone else is doing. Focus on your why you wanted to stand up for yourself. You are no longer staying in victim mentality, and that is going to require you to stand up for yourself. So I made a promise to myself that if this woman yelled at me one more time or disrespected me one more time, I was going to walk out. I did not have a job lined up. And my system, you know, when that's happening, our nervous system is in like, you know, trying to like control when the next blow is going to come. And so ironically enough, it was International Women's Day, where that is all about empowering women. And I was supposed to get pastries for a luncheon, women's luncheon. I didn't get the pastry she wanted. And she yelled at me and just was like, I'll go out and do them myself. And I was like in total, my nervous system was a mess. I'm shaking, my anxiety, right? It's like past pattern was coming back. And this is also a side note. Many of you guys who are doing the inner work, inner child healing, spiritual awakening, when an old pattern comes back in, it's very easy to criticize ourselves, judge ourselves, and go, well, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. All this hard work was for nothing. My anxiety is creeping back in. No. Past patterns come in as an opportunity for you to respond differently, not react. So I'm standing there. She's left to go get the right pastries. I'm standing there going, I have to keep my promise to myself. And I'm shaking because I'm like, what is going to happen when I leave and I have no job afterwards? She gets really mad, even more mad at me because I've left and not told her. And this inner warrior rose. And that's what I want you guys to know, is that you are all earth warriors, okay? And you can stand up for yourself, shaking, sweating, not having the right words to say, but it's keeping that honor to yourself, that value to yourself. Being treated like that, you couldn't pay me $100 an hour to be treated like that. And I was sobbing at that point. I was so scared. And that's the thing too. I want you guys to ask yourself, what am I fearful of if I stand up for myself? Because what I was doing in that moment is I was trying to think of all the other decisions that this one decision was going to make. Like, if I quit, will I have money next month? If I quit, will I get hired again? And all the what ifs. And our minds love to create the worst case scenarios. Okay. Now, I'm shaking. I am crying. I go to her supervisor to give him my resignation, to tell him I'm walking out. I cannot be treated like this again. And he looks at me with such self-compassion, such compassion for me, concern, humility, integrity. And he looks at me and he says, well, Sarah, we were wanting to promote you in a few weeks. If we could rush that, would you stay? And I start crying harder because I was like, well, that's not my brain. My brain was not trying to tell me the best case scenario. My brain was trying to tell me the worst case scenario. And so it might not end up like that. It might end up where, yeah, you walk away from your job and you don't get paid for a few weeks or whatever it is. But I'm here to tell you that take that next best step. Right here, right now, what do you need to do to place your boundary, to honor your promise to yourself, to honor your self-worth? Right here, right now. Don't think about the next 6 decisions or what could happen. What do you need right now? And this is something that we're getting back to, is being in the present moment. A decision you make today, yes, it's going to impact tomorrow. And maybe it'll have a negative effect, but you don't know what that outcome is. I didn't know he was going to promote me. I had no idea, no clue, because everything I was doing, I thought I was doing wrong. There is a cost to standing up for yourself, but the cost of staying small is greater. I couldn't go another 3 weeks in that stressful environment. And the universe is always working for you. So, promise I will keep to myself that I still live out. I still face obstacles, it seems like, where it's like, here I go again. This might cost me a friendship. This might XYZ, whatever it is. A family member might not like me. But I will not bow down to someone who treats me less than them. I will not bow. I will not cater. I will stand in who I am and embodying love, compassion for that other person, but I will not bow to their victimhood if they're treating me with disrespect. And this is a really hard thing. And it's something I have to remind myself of. And so this is the positive things that will come, the new beginnings for standing up for yourself. It can improve your happiness, well-being, and relationships. You might lose a friend, but it might open a window to a friend friendship's going to be both ways. Or standing up for yourself could improve your friendship, because, oh, we're going to have a conversation, we're going to talk about it, and this person's going to open up with you and say, well, my mom always criticized me, so I feel like I don't know any other response, and it just needs that heart to heart where it's like, okay, we're going to accept these differences in us and move on. So it is normal if you're struggling to stand up for yourself. It is normal if you're in the midst of the chaos going, when will this end? When will I have common ground again? I'm here to tell you, you will have common ground again. In my last video, I talked about the powerful question of, what am I allowing in my life that's not serving me? And that question can also be really, really helpful for when you're standing up for yourself, right? Focus on your why. Why are you standing up for yourself? What can you not stay silent about anymore? Remember, you are the master of your own reality. Never forget who you are. You are sons and daughters of light. Don't be afraid to stand up for who you are. And this is homework. If you want to have a takeaway, just reflect within your day. What are you scared of? Because that's the number one thing why we don't stand up for ourselves, or we back down, or we sit down when we want to ask that question. And that is, what am I fearful of? And this is when you get to connect to your higher self, because your higher self, whenever I ask my higher self always says, Sarah, who cares? Who cares if the worst scenario happens? Because right here, right now, you do not feel safe and you need to walk away. Because right here, right now, you need to place this boundary, or else your nervous system is going to be on stress for like a week. So I connect with my higher self, I connect with my heart space. Connecting with your heart space, that can take a lot of practice, because most of us, when we're in trauma responses, we are operating from our head. And so connecting to the heart, it can be really unknown. It's what I teach in the Soul Talk method as well. So we can talk about that more if you want to. But it is okay to be scared and to stand up for yourself. You are more than one emotion. You are more than just being scared. You are also light. You are also love. You are also badass empowerment, where you know and you have what it takes. And so many people will say to me, so many clients, when they first start out with me, it's, I don't know. You do know. You know. And this is all going to help you build your intuition, help you connect with your soul talk. And before we go, I do want to just touch on inner child work, because that is like what I'm all about. And people can struggle to stand up for themselves for various reasons. Often it starts in childhood. Our self-identity, our beliefs, they start in childhood. And so if you stepped out and you were this bold, flourishing kid, full of imagination, and yet, for example, mom and dad criticized you every time you stepped out. You grew up feeling like you could not speak up for yourself, that your needs were not met. That was your identity. It's how you received love. Love for you maybe is, well, my needs don't matter. Take back your sovereignty. Take back your sovereignty. Love is you get to stand up for your needs. And inner child work. We all have an inner child within us. Or this is standing up for yourself in this way is a way for your inner child to be free, to be seen and heard. So remember, there's a beginning, a middle, and an end. The beginning is I have to stand up for myself. I have to place this boundary. The middle can be chaotic and friction and tension, and nervous system feels like it's on fire. But you have to walk through it because the end is going to give you a new beginning. The common ground, the solitude within yourself of going, I did this for my safety. I did this because I value myself now. I did this because my needs matter. And you are love, right? You're learning how to respond versus react. I send you so much love as you go out today. Reflect within yourself what value you want to hold for yourself. And you can embody this as you stand up for yourself. Take one step at a time. What do you need to do today? Just one tiny step, one promise you're going to keep to yourself. And lastly, instead of focusing on what it's costing you, that's lack, that's a limiting belief. We're not going to focus on. Because focusing on that, believing that within itself, that's the unhealthy. Shift your focus to what is this going to bring me? I'm opening yourself up to what this is going to bring me, the newness, the freshness, the healthier lifestyle. Be feeling safe within yourself. Open yourself up to what it is going to bring you, not what it's going to cost you. I send you so much love. You're doing the work. You are here. I'm so proud of you. It's an honor to share this with you, this space with you. I hope you feel a little bit more inner peace within yourself. That is the goal of inner child work, is we feel the inner peace maybe we didn't have in childhood. We get to relearn that and claim that in adulthood. If you want to learn more, again, the links are below. Don't forget to subscribe. That's really going to help grow the channel and awareness of this amazing work. And reach out anytime. Have questions, comment below. Sending you all love, and I'll see you next time.